We're here for the Seesaw Pioneer Certification, and I'm again going to share the link to the presentation in the chat. You'll need to be logged into your Manor ISD account, and one thing that's real important here is navigating on the Zoom as we're all getting used to it. When you're looking at your control bar, you should be able to, if you lose me or if you want to go do your own thing for a second, all you need to do to get back, you should be able to just press the Zoom and it should take you back to the screen where your main controls are for the Zoom. So that's something that I find to be useful if you happen to lose me. Now, one thing is also important is if you go ahead and click on the doc, it will take you to this presentation. And if you want to, let me show you. If you happen to be on the dock, and I'm trying to find another Google tool. I had yesterday. Let's see here. Someone was able to. They were seeing my screen, but they hadn't accessed the actual presentation. And so,
right. So how?
What you can do to access the presentation is if you click on File, there'll be a button here or a choice to say Add Shortcut to your drive. And that's one way that you'll always have access to this. If you happen to want to make a copy of it, you should have the ability to make a copy. Right there under File, make a copy, and then I always say entire presentation. And then the other way would be to simply click on the icon, and it's a little hard to see here. And can y'all confirm you're seeing my screen before I go any further?
I can see what you have, a Seesaw Pioneer Certification. I see that, but I'm trying to figure out where I need to go to get to something you just said. File maybe here.
So I'm actually on task cards for Level 1 Educator, and
yes,
I was showing y'all the add shortcut to drive. So that's the third way to do that. So
how do we do that when we're viewing your screen? How do we get out of your screen to get to our?
Well, you would click on, say, Chrome, and it'll bounce you into your Chrome windows. You can also press with 3 fingers. If you're on a MacBook, you can swipe up and you'll see all your open programs, and then you can choose between them. Okay. That's another way. Also, if you're on a Mac, if you press F3, that'll take you to that mission control thing and it'll show all your open programs. I usually use the dock the most, and so the dock will take me to wherever. So if I want to bounce to my Outlook, I just press Outlook and it bounces me over there. If I want to go back to Chrome, it takes me back to Chrome. So I just press on the program. So getting back to what you're saying, that you can see my screen, but what if you want to access? So I put the presentation in the chat. So on your little control bar, you should see mute, stop video, participants, and chat, and among a number of other controls. If you click on chat, that is where it's at. So Ruth, actually, no, it has not. So this is the first time I'm sharing it. By the end of the week, I'll send it out to everybody along with a video recording of this PD and a Google form that you'll be able to use to get credit for it. So what you can do is just click on the link in the chat, which I'll put there again, and that way you have it in your presentation. And that's one of the things about Zoom is whenever someone comes in, if you post something in the chat and then someone else comes in after you posted it, they're not going to see what you posted. So that's why throughout this, if I happen to notice someone coming in, then I will repost that presentation. So it's not just me hammering y'all with a presentation. It's actually me trying to share it with the next person coming in. So the second slide, I was trying to look for some quotes yesterday, and that was what I found. in this trying time here. So if you happen to want to read that at some point, I found it useful. The third thing, I'm on slide 3. I recommend signing in with your Manor ISD Google account, and that could be really helpful to you just to make things easy, just pushing the easy button. So I always recommend logging in with your Manor ISD Google account. And speaking of your Manor ISD Google account, I don't know if any of you have ever tried to log into your personal Google account, but if you try to and you go to your mail, you're going to get this message right here. And so just real quick, as we're getting started here, I wanted to share how you can use your Chrome browser with your personal Google accounts and not have to run into this type of issue right here. So all you need to do is go up, I'm on my Chrome browser, and I go over to the right of bookmarks and I click on people, and then I would click add person, and then it's going to ask you to sign in. And then I would simply sign in with my other Google accounts or multiple Google accounts. And then anytime I want to access them, I would just click on make sure Chrome is open. And if it's not the browser that you want, not the account you want, like right now I can tell I'm on my Manor because I see Manor ISD bookmarks right here. But if I want to go over to my personal, I can click on that on the people and go down, and I can go down here to say Roman, which is my son, and then his browser is going to pop up. And I just go ahead and change how the browser looks so it's easier for me to tell. So I change the color scheme and all that kind of stuff. So that's a quick and easy way to be able to bounce between different Chrome or Google accounts. Any questions on that? All right, so pushing forward. If any of you have recently run into an issue with your Zoom not being updated or anything like that, or run into issues with your Chrome browser not being updated, there is a way to get that taken care of, hopefully, without having to put in a work order, and then our technicians would help you. So to do that, I'm going to go to the top right of my screen, and this is called the Finder bar, and it has the Wi-Fi signal and the current program I'm in and all that. And I would click on the little magnifying glass there, and I would type in self-service. And that's a real quick and easy way to find anything on your computer. And let's go ahead and put that in there. Okay, so now this is self-service. You'll notice it says Google Chrome right there, and I can click reinstall, and it doesn't matter which one you do, and then it will update the Chrome browser for you. If you go down to the very bottom of the screen, you'll see Zoom right there, and you can click the Zoom auto update, and it should update you to the newest update of Zoom. Now, after you do either of those, I strongly recommend that you restart your computer, and that way you won't, it'll just clear out the cobwebs, and restarting your computer is always the first troubleshooting tip that I give. So again, to get to self-service, I just went to the hourglass, typed in self-service, double-clicked on self-service, and then I found Google Chrome, and I clicked reinstall, and then I found Zoom, and I clicked reinstall there. All right. So that is that. A little housekeeping taken care of. So hopefully that'll make life a little bit easier for y'all. So now, why are we here? Seesaw. So I've actually been using Seesaw. My son goes to AISD. He's in the just finished kindergarten, so he's now a first grader. And when we started remote learning with him, his teacher and grade level was using Seesaw. So I've been using it as a parent for a while now, and I've really enjoyed it. It's actually been a pretty cool interface. So what we're here to do today is for me to show you how to get Seesaw as an account and what you need to do to become a Seesaw Pioneer, and which is basically watch some videos, answer some questions, go through their modules, and jump through a few hoops, and then you'll get a certificate. And then once you get that certificate, what you're going to do is, and I'll send out an email by the end of the week, and it will have a Google form in it. And what you're going to do is when you're finished, you're simply going to fill out the Google form, and you're going to upload that certificate into the Google form. and that's how you'll get granted credit for becoming a Seesaw Pioneer, and you'll have that certificate, and then you can continue to grow with Seesaw. So are there any questions about what we're here for, the objective or objectives? Okay. Well, silence out there. Bueller. Okay. I hope.
Can you hear me?
I can. I can.
Okay, good, good.
So you can always mute yourself. Sometimes I would mute if there's some loud background noise going on. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but there is a way to press the space bar and that will actually unmute you temporarily. And while you're holding it down, you can talk and then let it up. We've all been in the Zoom meetings where someone is trying to say something and they're talking and you just can't hear them. And yeah, so they haven't unmuted themselves. So just sound out, or if you put something in the chat, I will definitely get to the chat also. And I see we're blank there, so we're good. All right, so I'm going to push forward. Most of my presentations, the screenshots or pictures are going to be links. So if you click on slide 4 and you click on Connect and Grow as a Seesaw Pioneer, and you click underneath it, this is going to take you to the Seesaw Pioneer splash page. And if you're new to Seesaw, then I strongly recommend that you click on First Learn the Basics, and I'll go ahead and do that. And then you can just go through here and you can do their trainings. And the trainings simply are mostly watching videos. You can also register to have a webinar with them. And so if you click on register to join live, then it'll take you to another splash page and you can fill out your information and then you will register for it. And then there's the video of that webinar. So it doesn't look like it's a live webinar. It looks like it's a recording of a webinar. So you can fast forward it and come back to it and do it as you need to. So, and they should have some future webinars coming up, but at least this one is not present right now. So going back over what I just did, I'm on slide 4. I clicked on the picture. I clicked on the link underneath the screenshot, and that took me to the Seesaw Pioneer. So I'm going to go ahead and go past the basics now. That's where I click to get to the basics. This explains what you're going to do as a pioneer. And then right here, I click Become a Seesaw Pioneer. And then there's my course. Now, you'll have to be logged in for that to work. So let me try to do this with a different account. So I'm going to bounce into someone else's account. So bear with me here. So here I am, Seesaw. And then I want to become a Seesaw Pioneer. And then you're going to want to always say I'm a teacher. And then I strongly recommend you sign in with your Manor ISD Google. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then Ralph here is in 8th grade. Science. And then there he is. And now I want to go back to the actual, once I'm logged in and I have an account, you go to the Seesaw Pioneer, click on the button, and you see what I did there? All I did was go back to, I logged in as within my Google account, and then I went to the Seesaw Pioneer splash page. I clicked the blue Become a Seesaw Pioneer button, and it took me to Seesaw courses. And then I click on Seesaw Pioneer. Anybody have any questions before I go deeper into this? Are we able to follow along pretty good?
I'm following along. Are you actually wanting us to try to do it at the same time?
No, not at all.
Okay,
but
good. I'm following along with what you're showing.
Make sure we're on the same page here. So click on Seesaw Pioneer. And then you'll notice on this left side, and this is, I'm going to post this recording. I'll send this to y'all by the end of the week. So if there's something you miss, you can watch the recording or you can send me a quick message and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. So right here on the left side, you'll notice they're locked. So they do force you to go through everything. On a number of the modules, there are going to be questions at the bottom, and they're going to have you answer these questions. If you happen to fail the questions, then they allow you to resubmit, to retake it. As far as rigor, you know, it's just expecting you to watch the videos and answer the questions correctly. So it's not incredibly rigorous at all. But it does go over everything or almost everything within that I can think of that Seesaw offers. So it's a nice, yeah, I guess you get out of it what you put into it would be the best way to put it. So I'm going to go ahead and give you all a moment to navigate. If you want to go ahead and make sure you have access to my presentation, you can go to the chat and click on it. And that should open up, hopefully in your Chrome browser. And then I want you to go to slide 4. And I want you to click on the Connect and Grow as a Seesaw Pioneer, and then click underneath it. And I'm going to give y'all, I guess it's 10:18, maybe 5 minutes or so, to go ahead and get logged in with your Main ISD account into Seesaw. And then I want you to go ahead and make sure that you click on that button after you're logged in, and then make sure that you can get into the Pioneer page where you're going to have the modules to go through. All right, so I'm going to give you all 5 minutes to do that. So if you have questions during that, please unmute your mic.
Can you go over again how to get out of your share screen so that we can have access to our computer?
Sure. So can you see your doc underneath?
No, I can't see anything.
Okay, well then probably you're at full screen. So
Yeah.
What you need to do is you need to go to the top left or so of your window that you're on, and you should see a green, yellow, and red dots or circles. And if you press on the yellow, it'll minimize it.
Okay, my yellow is blank, but I have a green and red. So I just click exit full screen.
There you go. That would be it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure. No, you help me. Now I know to say exit full screen instead of looking for that yellow dot. And then now you should be able to see your doc and everything else, hopefully.
It's designed to help free and Seesaw.
Yes, thank you.
Great.
Welcome to Seesaw.
Feel free to anybody to just shout out a question if you run into an issue.
Brooke, can you tell us what you think the benefits are of Seesaw? I know my whole kindergarten team used it during distance learning and loved it. So that's what made me curious.
Why did he love it? Yeah, as a teacher, a parent.
Why did I enjoy it? Just the
What did you like?
The ease of use of it. And my son, who is 6, he took to it, and he's a, as what do we call them, digital native and all that. But I'm forcing him to take typing, so he's also going to know how to type, by golly. But I would say just seeing him with it and seeing how easily he took to it. And, of course, I did some coaching with him and all that. But another thing I was really impressed with is that the interactivity that it allows for. So you can use it as simply within, SAMR as the substitution. You could just put worksheets in there and have them do the worksheets. But what I really liked about it was that his teachers put in, they worked as a team, and they all did different videos on different subjects. And so like he would have a video from a teacher on his ELA reading, and then they would like read a story to him and within the video. And then another part of that same assignment was that he had to do an interactive little activity, whether it was like a matching or moving over, objects. So he had to actually touch the screen and move it over. And of course, he could have done it with a computer or Chromebook also. And then they also had the interactivity where he actually would go in there and he could draw, or he could actually type stuff. So he's been a little slow on the words, but he's getting better and better now. So he's actually sending me texts a little bit through the Hangouts. But he's actually able to get in, and you can touch the little text box thing, and it'll open up a text box for you, and then you can type in whatever you want to do, and then you can move that text box wherever you want on the screen. So yeah, I would say the interactivity, I would say the ability to have a one-stop shop was really nice, and not having to go look elsewhere for other stuff. So just like with the older students using Google Classroom, it's nice that everybody was using the same thing. And yeah, those are some of the points I got. Has anybody in here been using it in class and have anything to say about how you're using it?
I have been using it here. Hopefully I can start video. I have been using it, and I just want to say it is very interactive. The really nice thing about it is that you can also upload a reading comprehension passage, give directions as to whether you want students to record themselves reading it, answer questions. They can either type it or write it. Obviously, it'd be with the stylus with the pen. The nice thing about it is that there is a community that they already have lessons that you can use. You can also edit those lessons. So let's say you just want a part of that lesson, you don't want all of it, or you want to add more rigor, you definitely can do that. The other nice thing is you can upload your own lessons, and either you can just, and it is a worksheet, but you can make it interactive by creating, let's say I'm doing initial sounds for kindergarten. I can either have them type the initial sound, write it, or I can already make letter tiles and then they move it. The other things that I've used it for is, let's say I'm giving a lesson on, well, recently I did a lesson on problem and solution. So I uploaded a video from YouTube, Harry the dirty dog. We all know that one. His problem is he doesn't like taking a bath. They don't recognize him. He has to take a bath. So then I uploaded the video. I gave directions to watch it. And then I uploaded a video of myself basically explaining what problem and solution is. And then I gave the activity was that they had to draw and write about what the problem was and what the solution was. And just hearing their responses, they can record themselves reading that sentence or telling you what it is, and then you can go from there and give feedback in real time. I don't know if that
right there. I was wanting to add to what you were saying, and you just nailed it. That very last part is another thing that I really liked about it, was that the teacher was able to give feedback, and it was real nice to be able to hear her voice, or the voices of the teachers, and talking specifically to my son and saying his name, and just that connection. Even though it wasn't a live call, they did one live Zoom call a week, but having that connection and hearing that voice, or seeing the teachers when they're making the videos, that was huge. It was gonna get me all broken up again. It was tough when they ended. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, no worries.
Yes, thank you so much for that info, because we were using Nearpod and embedding videos in those, and then we were sending them through Class Dojo. But it sounds like Seesaw, you could do both. Like you can use it as a communication device as well as a learning platform.
As a matter of fact, one of the right here, this module right here, Families is a Powerful Partner, this shows you how you can send, add your families, the parents, through their emails or through their phone numbers. And then you can send out communications to everybody, or you can send them to specific families. And, so that was, that's really neat too, as part of a communication tool.
I just want to add though, for families, you do have to download a separate app to communicate. And on actual Seesaw, if you communicate, you're only obviously parents have access to it, but you can communicate with just students. But if you're trying to send a family message or get families involved, it is a separate app.
Yeah, and they actually do go over that in here, and how to get the separate app and how to send out the information to the parents. And another big thing about this, I want to say it was in this same module that I went through, because I went through the training also. They have a translation tool, and it translates a bunch of the. Have you had access to that or used that, Rosa?
I have not. I've just been communicating through Seesaw. I do know what it is and have it, but I just didn't use it. It was easy to give feedback real time through just the Seesaw app.
Yeah. So the translate it just translates to their native tongue, and you can access that pretty easily in that families module. It'll show you how to do that. But I don't know how good a translation tool it is. I'm not a very good, I have Spanglish or whatever with the Texas, having been a Texan all my life. So I'm not that great at it. I do know that, like the Google Translate, when I try to do something with that, and then I share it with native Spanish speakers, a lot of times they're like, this is not right. This is, they need to make quite a few changes to what Google Translate does to it, but at least that's something in there. So hopefully that AI is pretty good. So once you go through all the training, I'm going to bounce back into my account and get out of, let's see where I'm at.
Excuse me. So everything that was listed there is what you have to go through to get the complete training.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
then what it's going to do
15,
is, go ahead.
I said it's about 15 videos, I think it might have been. No,
I don't know. It might be give or take, maybe more than that, maybe less.
12 looks like. Yeah.
Did you go through each of the modules, or what? I don't understand.
No. I'm just looking at right there on the side where you're at.
Oh, but there might be more than one video in there. The videos are pretty short and sweet.
Good deal.
And then, so then you go through all the modules, answer the questions. It'll have you, it'll ask you to share on Twitter. I don't think you actually have to share on Twitter, but you can if you want to, if you have a Twitter account. I'm gonna go to the chat and see if there's some kind of.
I do not have.
Communication. Cool. Thank you all for sharing about the pre-K center using as communication device. So yeah, once you get through all the modules, the last step is going to be, they ask you if you want to join their Facebook organization or group, I guess is what they call it. And so then you can join that if you want to. And then it's going to download a certificate, and that certificate is actually blank. So let me get to it and I'll show y'all. So here I am in my Seesaw certificate, and you'll notice it's blank. So what you can do is you can go over here to tools, and you can go to annotate, and then you can actually press text, and then you can type in your name is how you want to put it right there. And then you would just, of course, save that. And then that's what you would upload into the Google form that I'll send to y'all by the end of the week, along with this presentation and a recording of this presentation.
That's so funny because it's like you have to use their tools to fill out your certificate. Is that right?
Well, it's kind of like, it's actually the tool on the Mac.
Oh, okay.
It's in preview, but it's similar. Yeah, it's similar. And actually, one thing I know that my son and I learned is, like, when he was doing the math worksheets and he had to put numbers in there, and we were always having to resize the whole the number each time, the text box that was holding it, and as we moved it around and stuff like that, we learned that we can actually copy it and paste it, and then put in the new number or new text or whatever you want, and then move that around. So yeah, once you get on there for a while and you start using it, it becomes pretty intuitive. One thing I really want to emphasize here is with any EdTech tool is to, if you can, try it out on with a student account. And so we all have access to our Skyward students. And if you have students in there, you might not have them right now since it's not in school, but when you do, you can actually log in as a student, and you should be able to here anyway. And then you can see what see it from the student side and see how it works for them. And then that way you can kind of anticipate any issues that might come up. And that would be for any tool, whether it's Nearpod or quizzes or whatever else. So I want to say, if you are satisfied with what you have and you're ready to move on, you're welcome to leave, I'll just say the last couple slides here. Slide 5 has a link to it to the remote learning resources that they have. And so you can go through here and see the resources that they have, but this is not required. This is simply, you know, for yourself. And then they have some, the webinars, training and professional development. I think I already showed you all that. So if you want to leave, we're done, unless you have questions about it. And so I see a question. Is there a Nearpod certification similar to this? Why, that's a very good question. Yes, there is. And I just happen to have it right here. So if you, I'll log into it real quick. So Nearpod distance learning, and they have a vocabulary one. Once you register for it, they give you a Canvas, or it's going to be a Canvas account. So you're going to need to be able to log into that or create an account if you don't have one. And then again, very similar. It has all the modules, has the content and videos, and then, you know, it's going to be a little bit more in depth, I believe, but it's not too much. And then, yeah, that's it. So basically, I think we're going to have one of those coming up pretty soon. If you wanted to get a head start, you could just do Nearpod distance learning, and then Google it, and then yeah, distance learning badge right here. So I'll put this in here into the chat. Now don't forget, y'all, excuse me, that you need to click on the link in the chat to get to the presentation that I created, and then add it to your drive if you want to. I'm also going to send it later. All right. So I'm going to stay on. I haven't seen if people are leaving yet. If you want to leave, you can. If you have some more questions about how you need to get Seesaw certified or something else, let me know.
How do I add it to my drive again?
So there are a couple ways. There's going to be a button to the right of the folder right here. Do you see where the star is in the folder?
Actually,
there's a button that's usually there that says add to my drive. It's a little drive icon, and you just click on that, or you can go to
let me
file.
get back where you are. Let me get back where you are.
Oh, okay.
Okay, where was it again? Seesaw.
So I'm right here on Seesaw certification.
Right.
There's the star, there's the folder, and then to the right of that on yours, you should see a little drive icon.
Okay, so I have to get out to see that again. Okay, hold on, let me go back.
You can also click on File, Add to my drive. Both will work.
Okay, File, Add to my drive. Okay, hold on.
So then when we exit this Zoom, we just complete the modules on our own and turn in the certificate to Eduphoria. No, Ruth, I'm going to send you a form by the end of the week, and you're going to fill out the form, and you can upload your certificate to the form. Yeah, I said it a couple times, and I'll definitely send a follow-up email. So I won't leave y'all hanging as far as getting credit.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
When I click on the chat, it's supposed to automatically take me to this website, right?
What website? The Nearpod one?
Yes. Or even the presentation, because mine is just not lighting up in blue. You know how you click on it and you go directly there?
Uh-huh.
Mine, it's not doing that.
I don't know. You might want to copy it. You might want to highlight the whole line if you can, or right click on it and say copy, and then paste it into your browser.
Okay.
You might double check, and you might go do your Zoom update.
Okay, because I did need to do that when I had trouble getting on. So
yeah, because I know that Zoom changed that. I think that was one of the problems, like with the trolling that was going on with Zoom. And I know that they took it away for a while, and then they put it back, and it's supposed to be safer somehow. I'm not quite sure how, but yeah, I know it was taken away for a while, and we couldn't click on links in there. But I think they've added it back. They definitely have added it back, because I went and updated the other day.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Of course. So is everybody comfortable that I'm going to send an email later by Friday, and it'll have the form in it, it'll have the video in it, and it will have the link to the presentation in it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you
Y'all have a great day. Stay safe. I know that they're having a vocabulary this afternoon happening, and we're doing Nearpod every Wednesday with Nearpod certified educators giving the training, which is different than the Nearpod distance learning. So those are separate type of things. That's, I think, to become a Nearpod educator, but you get credit for going to those also.
Great. So even if you don't become a certified educator, you get credit for attending?
For the, yes.
For the Nearpod.
Yeah, you get Eduphoria, yeah. For the afternoon session, the live session, yes, ma'am.
But I attended the Google certification yesterday, but you only get credit for the 18 credits if you actually get certified. You don't get like 3 credits just for attending.
Well, I'm working on changing that, because if you actually go to the training site and you look at, you know, how much time you're spending on those modules, it's quite a bit of time. So I'm working on getting with the PD coordinator and seeing what I can do to if you can show me that or show that you've gone through all the modules and completed them, then we're looking at seeing how much time we can give for credit for that. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that.
That'd be great, because I'm teaching summer school and I need to put my attention to that.
Yeah.
But I really want to learn more about Google, but I don't know if I'm ready to go through the 3-hour test and pay the $10 and all that, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it. And that's,
but I want to get a little bit of credit, you know, for that. So.
Yeah, no, I totally, I'm with you on that. And I'm working on making that happen so that we don't, yeah. Because that's kind of harsh too. You go through all the modules and then you don't pass the test for whatever reason, and then yeah, that's because here I am. I'm on the actual educator center, and let's see, where's the training? And then, sorry, I went blank on y'all, but oh yeah, see right there, it said 12 hours total.
Yeah.
You know, so that's at least, yeah. So that's 2 days worth in my book. So yeah, I'm working on that, and I will communicate with those courses through Eduphoria. Also, I'll be sending out an email with the same thing I'm sending for this one, a form, the video, and the Google, video. And within there, I'll have some clarification, hopefully, of what we're doing about the modules and getting partial credit.
Great, thank you.
Of course. And if you have questions about the Google or about Classroom or something like that, then that presentation from yesterday is a great starting point to go into that training center. But you can also shoot me an email or a Hangout with a specific question, with a caveat that you've Googled it before you reached out to me, and then I'll be happy to help you. I'm very likely will send you a video, just a short little GIF or video on how to do whatever you're asking to do, as long as I can find it.
I'm so thankful for YouTubing videos and Googling videos. I've learned so much.
Yeah, they really are.
I learned how to highlight my hair last week.
That's funny, yeah. For sure. All right, does anybody else have any questions? I appreciate y'all being here. I hope y'all got something out of it. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves and your families.
Quick question on
So at the end,
do you think for somebody who's a brand newbie to it, how much time investment would I need to do to really learn it before I take is there like a test type thing or activities?
For the Google?
For the Seesaw.
Oh, honestly, the modules are pretty easy to go through. And if you watch the videos and look at the question, you might, there's a couple that I had to go back and like look at the video to see what the right answer was again. But for the most part, it was pretty straightforward. You should not have any issues with it at all, and not being and coming from it as a what my son would call a noob on Minecraft or something like that. You shouldn't have too many issues at all. Just watch the videos, look at the questions, and yeah, you'll be fine.
And is it like activities to do similar to the Google certification?
No, it's not. It's not as much interactivity at all. It's pretty just straightforward. Watch the videos, answer the questions, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you have a great day, and reach out anytime, and y'all be hearing from me by the end of the week.
Sounds
So
good.
there's an exit ticket?
No, ma'am. No, the exit ticket is you filling out the form once you get your certificate.
Thank you.
Of course. That would have been cool if I could have done something in Seesaw for everybody, but no, I didn't do that.